This is a Vietnam era M65 jacket. This is a Vietnam made M65 jacket. In this bag here, we have the M65. It's a vintage jacket from the Vietnam era around 1960s, 1970s. Let's get it open. And here we have the vintage M65 used by the military since 1965 until about 2009 when they discontinued it. I joined the military in 2009, so I never got issued anything like an M65. And here we have a very cool looking Made in USA, baby, right there. With M65s, you do typically want to size down. This is a size small. I have about a 41-inch chest, so that should fit me very well with still enough room to slightly layer underneath as well. You even have the size small underneath this flap, which is interesting. Super fuzzy with all the little hairy bits in there, man. Here's the zipper. It looks to be very thick. What does this brand say? MR or EMAR. And it's, wow, super, super smooth. This is the smoothest zipper I've ever felt in my entire life. I'm not exaggerating. This is literally the smoothest zipper I've ever freaking, wow. It's so fun. Smoothest zipper ever. Wow, that's interesting. And if you look at my channel, it's not like I don't know about materials and zippers and stuff like that and quality materials. And I've never experienced a zipper that's this smooth. That's the smoothest ride I've ever felt on a zipper pull. Amazing. Here's the internals. There will be a lining. This is a cotton lining, as you can see. There's the back side of the jacket, and you can see the inside as well. You can see the hood's tucked in there. The hood is in here, and that's probably going to be a super smooth zipper as well. Let's see. Yeah, it's super smooth. Look, see how the material is like not super heavy, right? But the zipper is also wavy because of the way it's built here. And it still feels smooth. It's just hard to do with one hand. I can tell it's super smooth though. Let me do it with two hands. Yeah, very easy. Kind of like that backing of the collar on the inside. And it comes with that same kind of hood. The same material as the jacket itself. A lot of people don't use this hood in M65s. But it is useful. This one is a medium hood. And there are instructions here. They're just hard to kind of read because it's kind of faded slightly. But it looks kind of cool. I'd be curious to see what exactly all of this says, especially around this part with that picture there. Very interesting. Not all the, oh yeah, look at that. It's like elastic as well. Not all of these come with hoods, and you can see it's kind of starting to pull at the edge right there. This lining right here goes over the entirety of the jacket, but you still have access to the inside of the jacket in case you want to do anything like sew on patches on the back, you know, stuff leaves in there if you're trying to survive out in the cold and you didn't bring enough warmth. And you can see the smart construction, how the hood just goes inside of the jacket behind the lining. So this is the collar. The collar opens to the back of the jacket, and then you put the hood in there and then zip it up, and it's now just behind this lining. Very smart and very easy to use. Let's get this thing washed. Here we have the jacket. We're going to put this in a cold, gentle cycle wash. So nothing fancy, cold, delicate, and then we'll I think I'll probably throw it in the dryer. Usually I like to line dry things like this, but I feel like one time in the dryer is fine. I'm hardly ever gonna wash this thing, and I kind of want to wear it today. I want to do more reviewing on it, and I'll throw that in the dryer after this, probably on just like medium heat. Oh, yes, here we have the M65 from the Vietnam era. This is a civilian version, but it has actually been used now that I actually examined it a little bit more. I only paid about $60 for this all in after shipping and tax. And over here, as you can see, the hook and loop, or the Velcro, which is a brand name, Velcro creates hook and loop material. The hook and loop on this cuff is missing, so I can't cinch it a little bit tighter, which is easy fix. I can do that myself in like 5 minutes. The sleeves, I would say, are like slightly on the shorter side, just barely shorter than I would prefer, because it is a size small. And these do come in, at least the military versions, they come in like small long, medium short, stuff like that, right? And for me, I don't think I would want a small long technically, just for slightly more sleeve length, because then it also, I believe, lengthens the back. And I think this is basically the perfect length. Like another inch probably wouldn't hurt though. It doesn't really matter that much. And this is one of the old school jackets with the Velcro here, where you can extend the sleeve outward as well, right? So it is basically my length once I release that. And then when it's like this, it's a little bit short, but not too bad, because, you know, I can see my watch. It is 11:11 a.m. And again, with the zipper, this is the smoothest zipper I've ever used in my entire life. I'm not exaggerating. I'm just barely like holding this nice beefy zip, and it's going up and down. And it's so smooth, it seems like it would just like fall on its own, because the zipper pull is quite heavy, but it doesn't. It stays where it's supposed to. This jacket does, of course, have the buttons for the internal lining, and the size for the lining will match the size for your jacket. So if you have a size medium jacket, you put a size medium liner on the inside, and you can probably even go one size up from what your jacket size is to put the liner in. I'm not entirely sure on that, but it seems like you could probably do that with missing like a couple of buttons, because the attachment points would shift a little bit. The internal lining is very nice. I like cotton lining. I vastly prefer this cotton lining. In fact, let me grab my other jacket. And with this leather Indiana Jones jacket, it's styled like an A2. I really, really love the cotton flannel in here. And now this is not a flannel, but it's just like a cotton drill. And cotton for me with linings is perfect. It just seems to be the most temperate, and it keeps you warmer when it's kind of cool, but also it helps with blocking the sun if it's a sunny day. Not a sunny day today, but if it's a sunny day, it helps you block the sun. And that keeps you cooler technically, because when the sun is directly on your skin, it can burn, especially at high elevation here, where the sun UV rays are 20% stronger than they are at sea level. Here we have this Banana Republic field jacket, and I did a full video on field jackets, and I mentioned the M65 quite a bit. I didn't have this when I made the video, but I made the video in a very kind of generalized way. So even though that video is a lot about this Banana Republic jacket, which is somewhat styled after M65, not quite. Watch that video to learn more about this. You can learn a lot about field jackets in that YouTube video I made. And this jacket is a different style. This is more of a Nyko. So what Nyko is a 50-50% blend of nylon and cotton. And this is not Nyko. This is a Banana Republic cotton nylon material. It's 59% cotton, 41% nylon. And so, you know, 50-50 is way different actually. And this will create a more luxurious hand because of that 59% cotton. This just feels so nice. It also has, again, cotton lining on the inside. I prefer cotton liners. As a comparison with how these jackets look, I might as well throw this one on, because it is a field jacket that was somewhat styled after the M65 that I just took off, but not quite. This is more of a bell staff style motorcycle looking jacket. They make these specifically with this style of pocketing, but those jackets were designed, of course, after the US military field jackets to begin with. So yeah, beautiful snap buttons on this, where you have the little latches to put your fingers underneath. And this creates a completely different look, and it's also completely different sizing, because that M65 is a small. This M65 style jacket is a large, right? So fashion stuff typically runs much smaller than military gear, and understandably, because, I mean, whenever you're making the military gear, you're kind of thinking about layering and people's body sizes and shapes underneath the garment. Whereas when it comes more to fashion, you worry a little bit less about that and more about the tailoring, more about the look and things of that nature. But yeah, this is the Banana Republic one. I believe this retails for basically around the same price as any like high quality Nikon M65. And the difference between this 100% cotton M65 and this 59%, 41% mixture jacket is that this one's significantly heavier. Like I can feel the heft of this one, whereas this, super light. This one I would travel with, this one I'd take around in light rain. It's a little bit better for light rain than an M65 would be, but this would work out too in like a light drizzle. The backing or the underside of the material is going to be completely different. When it comes to the cotton, this shell on the back side, if you go behind the liner on the inside, is going to be exactly the same as the front side, pretty much. And when it comes to Nikon, and again, a lot of M65s are made with Nikon. When it comes to Nikon, if I bring this up over here, let's see if we can find a spot where there is, here we go, inside of this lower pocket here, you can see the material looks a little bit different. Sounds a little bit different. This is more velvety on the outside, and on the inside it's more nylon. So it's like the warp and the weft, right? So the nylon is the backing for the most part, but it does kind of come through on the front to create that kind of luxury velvety feel. You got the corduroy collars and cuffs and lining, whereas on the M65 it's just the plain material. Yeah, so the M65 is such a super versatile jacket, and it's no wonder that a lot of people really love these things, especially the 100% cotton version. I do think Nikon is great, but there's something special about like 100% cotton type of stuff. And I just made that video about the OG 507 trousers, right? Those are mixed with synthetics, not 100% cotton. And I mentioned in like the title or in the video that the 507s are in certain ways better than the 107s. And that's with the 107s being 100% cotton like this, right? This is part of the same kind of OG 107 uniform, the color OG green 107, number 107. And it's one of the most prized colors, I believe, because in the civilian market, a lot of people don't want to wear the camouflage, like the amoeba patterns. They want to wear just like the plain kind of nice green, natural looking garments. And understandably, because that's the same with me. Like even though I was in the military, I don't actually like the camo that much. Like it's fine to wear when you're in the military, right? But when I'm not in the military and I wear any kind of camo, it just feels a little bit strange to me. I don't really enjoy how it looks that much. But yeah, so that's why I tend to opt for like just plain solid colors like this. And that's my preference. And there are certain things that I have to fix personally because I only paid $60 for this just to kind of set the market here. These probably run around $150 for a decent quality used one, right? So this was half the price of a decent quality used one. And I would say this is a decent quality used one with certain things that make it a little bit cheaper than $150, but still I think I got a good deal with $60 because there's certain things that are missing on this or need to be fixed are super simple things that I can do myself. Like this piece of Velcro that goes on this cuff, I can do easily myself so that I can cinch up the wrist. And it is still attached on this side, but I might have to do it on that side as well because it's starting to fray. It's super strong. Like anytime I try to take it off the hooks or the loops, whatever they're called, whichever side is which, it starts to get super fuzzy because it's really pulling it out and like matting it up. And then the other things are the buttons. So the only other issue is the buttons on the flaps. One flap has it, so this one's good. And then the other three don't have the actual, I suppose it would be the female part of it because this is the male right there that goes into the female. And so 3 of those pockets don't have the snap, which is okay. That's pretty easy fix as well. And these pockets are deep enough to the point where it doesn't matter that much with the snaps. If I really need to use the jacket for now without the snaps, I can just use this left one if I needed to keep something secure in this jacket. And of course with M65s, they have this side cinch for your waist. They also have the cinch for the hem, like at the bottom, so you can see the length here. The internal one is on the inside, right? So you would tighten this up around your waist on the inside. You can tie it up, literally, just tie it. You zip everything up. And then you also have the drawstrings at the bottom that you can tighten even further so that you can prevent wind and like snow, whatever, wherever kind of environment you're in. You prevent anything from going up into there by tightening that bottom part, which I don't think I would do too often. I probably wouldn't tighten the middle section too often either, because this is quite fitted being a size small. And again, I have a 41-inch chest, which usually equates to somewhere around like a larger medium or like on the smaller side of a large. It depends, because sizing is not the same across companies. As we've mentioned, this Banana Republic jacket is a size large, and it fits basically like this size small, I would say, in terms of dimensions and proportions. But yeah, very quality. I like the feel of it. It's something that you can kind of live in and just kind of get used to as like your primary jacket. Whereas this one, it's interesting because I love the feel. It feels so luxurious, this kind of almost Nyko. I think it's a little bit more luxurious than Nyko even. It's so light, it feels so nice. That's why I'm not gonna get rid of this Banana Republic one, despite now having this M65, which I might use more. I might use this one more than this, but there's something so special about this for some reason that I just really enjoy, despite it being made in like Vietnam. Oh, you know what? That's interesting, right? This is a Vietnam era M65 jacket. This is a Vietnam-made M65 jacket. In a sense, it's almost an M65, but yeah, like, I didn't even think about that, but this one's made in USA, made in Vietnam. So actually, I kind of like this more now that I looked at the tag and saw Vietnam, because it's just like the relation kind of makes it a little bit more special in my mind. Very cool. But I would say this here, this Indiana Jones jacket, surprisingly, is actually my daily driver. This is the one that I will use the absolute most. I use it every day. As I mentioned, I love the cotton lining because it's just so versatile and temperate. And this thing, it keeps me cool. It also keeps me semi-warm. And of course, if I layer under it, I can be even warmer. But this is such a versatile thing, and it feels so good. It's like this heavyweight lambskin. And man, these are my jam right here. But yeah, I do love me some M65s and military gear in general. I am wearing Danners as well, by the way. These are just some Danner Stalwart boots, and they're pretty dang good. Wrangler 13 MWZ. And what's my shirt? This is a linen, probably J. Crew shirt, olive green. And this is the military M65 Vietnam era jacket. Pretty dang dope. And a couple other things to point out is, of course, the nice pleated kind of articulated elbow, so that it can turn and has just a natural elbow bend for you, as well as these epaulets or epaulet holders. You attach epaulets onto epaulet holders, but pretty much everybody calls these epaulets, and that's fine in my opinion. You don't have to be freaking nerdy about it. Anyway, very interesting, because this zipper here in the center seems kind of like it's supposed to be aluminum, but then it also has like this browning here, like it's brass. This one I know for sure is brass. The one on the neck definitely has to be brass, but this one is kind of hard to tell. I'm pretty sure it must be aluminum. I mean, it's the most unique zipper I've ever used in my life. It's so smooth, so nice. I can't stop talking about it for some reason, because it's just like such a nice freaking zipper. And here's the zipper pull. I think it says like MR on there. Quite heavyweight. I'd say that's like a size 10 zip on a YKK. This pull looks like a size 10. As we compare to the Banana Republic one, which has a double zip, it's a slightly smaller YKK number 8. Yeah. So these are slightly smaller than the M65 zipper. That's why I said the M65 one is probably like a size 10, whereas these are like size 8s, and that's great. Yeah. Double zip works very well for a jacket like this because the zipper goes all the way down to the bottom, right? If you look at the M65, that's not true. It goes only down to here, and then you still have like a good 4 or 5 inches at the bottom without a zipper. That's why there's no need for it to be a double zip. But in military gear, I don't think they would use it anyway.